And those beautiful feelings started to come back, but I was starting to understand it a bit better this time, because I can't explain why, but the place I was in now, I was kind of understanding what that was. And I don't know if I actually understand what it is, but it's like when you get outside of your head, I guess this is what I want to share with people, and it's really hard to share, but I thought, let's try.
Sure, let's try.
Is, the mind's going chatter, 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 kind of all day long. And if your mind just goes quiet just for a minute, or this is how I experience it, and the mind goes quiet just for a second, I get this really strong feeling. And for me, that's the divine, and that's the soul or the universe, or, I know there's so many names.
There's so
and
many
in a
names,
way,
yeah.
to me, it doesn't really matter what the name is. But for me, it's so strong and just pure love. And to me, it's just got to be spiritual. It's everything that spirituality could be. And when I get out of my head, I get these beautiful sensations. And in that moment, it's like, everything's okay. And it doesn't matter if I've got a lot of money, if I've got no money, if I've got a nice house, not a nice house. It's like nothing could give me more than this experience. And to me, that's just pure spirituality. And to me, that's also well-being, and because I work in a college and stuff now, I hear a lot about well-being, and then, they'll talk about, go for a walk, have an early night, all these types. It's very much about doing things to try and feel better. And for me, my experience taught me is do less. Like when you stop, well-being and spirituality to me are like the one and the same. It's like, it's pure health. And I feel like in the society and the surroundings I live in, everyone's looking for well-being out there, and they're all kind of searching. It's a big topic now, which is great. And, and they're kind of on the journey to find it, but they're looking out there, and well-being doesn't actually exist in my mind. It just doesn't exist in the physical world. And it's when everything stops, you're there, and I deeply believe that we are spiritual, like we are spirituality, it's our essence. So it's actually when we stop, we find ourselves, we're here and everything's okay.
There's nothing to seek.
There's nothing to seek.
Yeah.
And when you seek, it's just you're back in the mind. I mean, that's how I experience it. As soon as you start seeking truth or trying to figure something out, then it's kind of you're back in the personal mind. And then before you know it, you're lost. I feel like it's like, so once you activate the personal mind, it's like, oh, yippee, I'm back on again. And then it's like, it's all nice. And then suddenly you're like, oh no, it's not nice anymore. It's as if like once you activate it, it just goes anywhere. It's like, it's just kind of a mess. And one of the things I guess I realized was how to get to that place more often. And for me, is listening. I just started realizing when I listen to people, I realized I never used to listen to people. It's hard to explain, but I would be thinking while I was listening, like maybe thinking what I was going to say or judging them, or just, it's strange, but it's like I wasn't listening, with a quiet, open mind. And then it became like a bit of a practice, like I was really enjoy just listening to people until they stopped speaking, rather than, I used to be very prone to interrupting kind of halfway through, or, towards the end, to kind of like jump in. And I just would listen, and then when I would listen, that beautiful feeling would come. It's like I was as if like, because you can't think and listen at the same time. Or that's how I experience it. So when I was totally listening, then I would go into my true self, into my nature, back into spirituality.